the villain who learned to be loved. When Lio opened his eyes, the first thing he felt was pain. Not the sharp kind, but a heavy, suffocating ache that sat in his chest like a stone. The second thing he noticed was silk, expensive silk brushing against his fingers. The third was the room. High ceilings, dark velvet curtains, furniture carved with delicate aristocratic patterns. This isn't my room. Leo sat up too fast and winced. Long silver hair spilled over his shoulders and down his back, catching the light like moon water. His hands were pale and slender, adorned with a signet ring he recognized far too well. "No way," he whispered. He staggered to the mirror. The reflection staring back at him was beautiful in a cold, tragic way. Sharp eyes the color of frost, lips always set in disdain, a face destined for betrayal and downfall. "Lio Valencrest," he said softly. The villain. Lio had transmigrated into Crown of Thorns, the novel he'd read just days ago. And not as a background character, not even a side antagonist, but as the villain who would be exposed, disgraced and executed before the final arc. In the original story, Lio Valencrest was cruel, manipulative and obsessed with power. He sabotaged the second lead, framed innocence, and made himself the sworn enemy of the main lead. William Ashford, the man who would eventually kill him. Leo's knees went weak. "I'm doomed," he muttered. But then he clenched his fists, heart pounding. "No," he corrected himself. "Not yet." William Ashford hated Lio Valencrest. At least, that's what the story said. William was the crown prince, brilliant and disciplined, with eyes like burning steel and a reputation for being impossible to deceive. In the novel, he saw through Leo's schemes early on and never forgave him. His heart belonged to Jake, the loyal knight, the second lead whose quiet devotion had made countless readers cry. That was the plot, but Lio wasn't that villain anymore. From the very first day, he chose to be different. At the Academy banquet, where the original Lio would have humiliated Jake publicly, Lio instead stepped forward, bowed politely, and praised Jake's swordsmanship. The room fell silent. Jake looked startled. William narrowed his eyes. Lio smiled softly, hands folded, posture elegant but humble. A knight who trains day and night deserves respect. "I merely spoke the truth." Whispers rippled through the nobles. William watched him closely, suspicion sharp as a blade. That was the first crack in the story. Lio avoided political games. He returned stolen funds to the treasury anonymously. He treated servants kindly. He listened more than he spoke. People began to change how they looked at him. This doesn't make sense, William thought more than once. He had prepared himself to face a monster. Instead, he kept encountering a boy who smiled gently, who flinched at cruelty, who stood between bullies and the weak without asking for credit. Once, during a rainstorm, William saw Lio offering his cloak to a shivering stable boy. "Why?" William asked coldly. Lio blinked, surprised to be addressed. "Because he's cold?" William had no reply. Jake noticed it too. "The villain's gone soft," Jake joked one evening, though there was unease behind his smile. "Careful, Your Highness. He's dangerous." William nodded, but his eyes drifted toward the window, where Lio was laughing quietly with a group of students. "Dangerous? How?" The original plot tried to correct itself. A false accusation surfaced, one meant to frame Lio, just as he had once framed others. Evidence was planted. Witnesses were bribed. In the novel, this was where Leo's true villainy would be exposed. But this Lio didn't lash out. He didn't scheme. He didn't beg. He stood before the court, back straight, voice trembling but clear. "I accept investigation," he said. "If I am guilty, I will face the consequences." William watched him carefully. There was fear in Leo's eyes. But not guilt. William intervened. He personally re-examined the evidence, uncovered the real culprit and overturned the verdict. When the court was dismissed, Lio bowed deeply. "Thank you," he said, eyes shining. "You didn't have to." William hesitated. "I wanted to." The words surprised them both. From then on, William found himself drawn to Lio in ways he didn't understand. He noticed how Lio read late into the night, how he fed stray cats behind the academy, how he never spoke ill of anyone, even those who insulted him. One evening, they talked under the palace lanterns. "Are you afraid of dying?" William asked quietly. Lio stiffened. Then he smiled, sad and honest. "Yes, but more than that. I'm afraid of hurting people." William's chest tightened. This wasn't the villain he was supposed to hate. This was someone unbearably gentle. Jake saw it too. One night, he confronted William. "You're changing," Jake said. "You look at him differently." William didn't deny it. Jake exhaled slowly, then smiled, soft, resigned. "Then be honest with yourself. Don't follow a story that doesn't fit anymore." The second lead stepped back, and the plot broke completely. The final turning point came during the rebellion arc. In the original novel, Lio would betray the kingdom, triggering war. Instead, Lio stood beside William on the battlements, wind tugging at his hair. "I know what happens if I fall," Lio whispered. "I've seen it." William turned to him sharply. "Then don't fall." "I might," Lio said, voice shaking. "But if I do, promise me the world won't burn because of it." William took his hand. "I promise," he said, "and I won't let you face it alone." That night, they fought together. Lio was wounded protecting civilians. William carried him from the battlefield, blood staining royal white. "I won't let you die," William said fiercely. Lio smiled weakly. "You're rewriting everything." "So are you," William replied. Lio survived. The rebellion was quelled, the kingdom stood, and the villain never appeared. Instead, history recorded Lio Valencrest as the noble who chose kindness over fate. When William was crowned king, Leo stood beside him, not as an enemy, not as a tool, but as his chosen partner. The court murmured. The world adjusted. William didn't care. He reached for Leo's hand, fingers intertwining. "Stay," he said simply. Leo smiled, soft, warm, real. "I will," he replied. "This time, I'm choosing the ending." Under a sky free of tragedy, the story closed, not with death but with love. Would you like me to help you brainstorm a sequel scene, or perhaps create a character description for Leo and William?